Whether you like it or not, over the past few years, football has had some huge storylines. Would Mbappe go to Madrid? Was Ronaldo right to give the interview to Piers Morgan? And was lasagna really to blame for Spurs missing out on the Champions League in 2006? If you struggle to keep going with your career modes, adding storylines to your save can give you that reason you need to keep playing. You might not know what a storyline is, you might not know how to find them, or how to make your own, or why they're even fun, but that's exactly what we're going to look at in today's video. By the end of this video, you'll be able to use them like a pro, and I can promise you'll enjoy your career modes even more going forwards. So let's get started and look at what a storyline even is. This depends on who you ask, but to me, it's basically a small challenge or restriction that will change some part of your career mode for a small amount of time. I recently revamped my site to make these a bit easier to understand, so let's have a look at some examples of storylines that you could use in your save and show you the exact type of thing that you'll need to do. So let's say you have a storyline like this one that I've just put on screen. It's totally believable that a group of players would think that a team isn't being ambitious. That's the storyline. I've also included a task to make it easier for you to actually do in game. In this storyline example, you just have to sign a well-known player. I'll leave it up to you if you think that means someone who's won a trophy, someone with international caps, or just someone who's higher rated than your squad. In this other example, we actually got a negative storyline. How many times have we seen an investor pull out of the club, then the club starts to go downhill? It happened at Chelsea, Charlton, Parma and Portsmouth, and in this storyline, it's happening to you. All you have to do is follow the task. So for the next year, you have to just follow the task, which is to sell any player who gets a bid higher than their transfer value. This means that your squad will have a lot of turnover and you will have to think twice before signing new players because they could easily move before the next transfer window ends. So now you know what a storyline is, where can you actually find good storyline ideas? Well, nobody will actually make a better storyline for your save than yourself, but if you're not feeling creative, there's actually a bunch of different places you can find them. My own website is linked in the description, and I've got a randomizer that will give you a storyline every time you press the button. You can also find them all over the career mode focused parts of Instagram and Reddit, as well as in the Discord that's linked in my description below. If you don't like using any of these things, you could just make a couple of storylines yourself, put them in a list, give them numbers, and use a random number generator to decide what storyline you're getting that month. You can easily randomize some scenarios that you can then do in game, and this is the whole point of using storylines. You'll get random things you need to do that will make aspects of the game change, and a bit of randomness is always going to make career mode more fun. If you've got any storylines you'd like to share, post them in the comments below to help everyone out. So, why are storylines so crucial in having a good FIFA career mode save? In other football games like Football Manager, the storylines kinda happen naturally. Maybe Madrid would want to sign your star player, and that gives you a challenge to try and persuade them to stay. But this kind of thing doesn't really happen in FIFA. If you wanted, you could have a team of 99 rated players in the 4th division, which obviously should be causing some big issues. All of a sudden, you can generate a storyline that says some of your players are causing issues, and even if they aren't really doing it in game, it will help you to change things up and give you the chance to bring some new ideas, maybe some new players, and just a lot of change into your save. If the storyline says a youth player is disrupted, you can release them, and maybe this will cause you to change some of your future plans with your youth players. If you're happy always signing the same nations, but the storyline asks you to scout somewhere like China, South Korea or Australia for talent, this isn't just a random decision for the manager, it has a reason behind it, and that's why you've changed the nations you're scouting. Storylines don't have to be small either. If you're interested in longer saves, you could easily add in some massive ones too. Maybe your tiny club's been bought out by a foreign tycoon. You could then spend the next 4 seasons redeveloping your team with players from their nation. Maybe you could be someone like Peterborough United in League 1. You get bought out by a Saudi, and all of a sudden you have 4 Saudi Arabian teams leading your charge up the Championship and into the Premier League. Another storyline could force you to restrict signing wages to a tiny amount, forcing you to sign worse players for a few transfer windows, which is really something not a lot of people will do. Everyone wants to improve their squads, but the idea of signing players that are actually worse than the ones you have to bring down the wage budget is actually a cool idea and something happens a lot in football. The increased randomness of FIFA career mode after you've added storylines is exactly why you should be adding them, and exactly why I've been adding them in my latest save. Here's an example of what I've been doing so you can get a good idea of how much it can impact your save. With January's league game successfully completed, let's roll out our first storyline of the episode. This could be massive. Well, oh no, it's not really that good, is it? From our top 5 players, our youngest player is actually our goalkeeper, Van Dijk. We got really good money for him when we transfer listed him, but he's been one of our players of the season. This age difference that the storyline demands also means we have to go for an old keeper, and this is snowballing downhill very fast. I mean, I guess Hugo Lloris is cheap, he's not the most realistic having just joined LAFC, but we'll sign him for 6 months while scouting a replacement that we'll sign in the next summer. So hopefully today you learned a little bit about storylines. Of course, feel free to watch my career mode, but I seriously do recommend you head over to my website, refresh the storylines a few times, and see if it does really make your career mode more fun. But thank you for watching, I really do appreciate it. Sorry if the video was a bit more weird than usual, I had to record this on such a janky setup, but thank you for watching. I'll see you soon, cheers and goodbye.